Are you about to watch this video and you're not liked and subscribed to it? Like the video, please. Just go down. It's right there. It's right there.
I did. I hit it. Have you hit it?
Welcome back to Starting Nine.
Let's go.
Episode 252. You'll have to excuse my somewhat low energy and dead voice. I've just been yelling for the last, 15 hours going on. It's been a rough patch for the kid. I don't know if you saw that game last night in Tampa.
The 1-0 ball game.
Yeah, the walk-off wild pitch.
That's a tough way to lose a ball game.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it.
Why not? I feel like it's one of those games where you have losing a ball game like that can really. I don't want to call it like a circle game. Like, is this the game? Because it's not even All-Star break here.
Yeah,
but that's a dagger. That's a dagger.
Not really. It
is.
Nah, if you're the Red Sox, you're walking back into that clubhouse thinking like that was a really stupid way to lose a game. Like you didn't walk away from that game or that series being like, well, that team's better than us.
No, you feel like you had a chance to win the game, which you did, and it just quite literally one pitch.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it. Rays have a half-game lead in the American League East. By the way, if you haven't heard the David Wells interview on the last episode, you're missing out. That was a quality interview with Boomer Wells that was probably, half hour-ish, around there, 40 minutes. And he had some takes. I feel like, David Wells having his opinion out there is something that baseball, and not to say that he's right about everything, but just the perspective that he has on the game is, even if you disagree with him, at the very least, it's interesting.
Well, he put it very bluntly when he said, "Get Rob Manfred out of there, and I'll start watching baseball again." He hasn't watched, he said, in 2 years. Just kind of glossing over the game, which I can understand, especially for a guy like him who's, kind of long been removed as far as a player is concerned. And he's done some coaching. He's done some, some helping out here and there. But as far as he goes, his experience in the game is enough to continue to get him by. And he doesn't need to consume it every day to still love it the way he loves it. But the way that the game is going is very different than the game he played. So I can understand where a lot of these older guys are coming from, and especially because I get to, I spend a lot of time with them at the ballpark, but then the things I do in the off season with these guys, I get to hear that a lot. I get to hear, their thoughts on the game, their feelings on rules, how things used to be, how they're going. So it's fun. Boomer, a classic. He's a classic.
I have a question for you, Dallas.
Sure.
Because I've talked to a number of big name players. Like I can understand if you're talking to a guy that, maybe played 2.5, 3 years in the big leagues and there was a lot of promise and, they fell off, got released, got DFA'd, and then they got hurt and then they fell out of the game. And those guys, I get it when I'm like, do you miss the game? And they're like, no, because there's a bitterness there. But I've talked to successful big leaguers that once they move on from baseball, I've asked them do you miss the game? And a lot of them say no. No, I'm good. And you ask them, do you still watch? A lot of them, no. Yeah, sometimes, here and there. Some people will be I haven't watched a game since I stopped playing. Why do you think that is? And why are you someone that is you probably consume more baseball now than when you played?
Yeah, well, because baseball and I'll say this, it's kind of like coaching, right? Some of the great players of whatever sport you want to choose don't necessarily turn out to be the best coaches because really they're kind of looking at other people going, well, why can't you just be great? And they don't necessarily know how to coach greatness. And I don't know that you really can, right?
Well, Wayne Gretzky, perfect example. He was a terrible coach.
You have to have the ability to communicate, put things in perspective so that the people that you're trying to get a point across to understand on their terms what you're trying to get across from your perspective. That takes a special skill set. And if you don't have the patience and you don't have that ability, well, coaching probably ain't for you. And with what you have to do, Gerrit, to dedicate your life to this game, to get out of it what you want at the highest level, you have to say goodbye to a lot of things. You have to sacrifice a lot of things. You have to live a different life than you know you're going to end up living later. And that's part of the sacrifice, the blood, sweat, and tears. So the weddings that you get invited to now, you want to be able to go to. The birthdays, the graduations, all of that stuff is stuff that you want to be a part of. And the game doesn't lend itself to allow people that are a part of it to enjoy those things in their life. Not if you're fully committed, not if you want to do it on an elite level. And that's what weeds guys out along the way. And so once you're on the other side of all of those sacrifices, all of those commitments, again, the blood, the sweat, the tears, the surgeries, the months being apart from your family, you don't want to do that anymore. And it's not that you resent the game. You appreciate it for everything it's given you, and you take advantage of all of that work and sacrifice you put in so that you can live the life you want to live now, the 2.0. Because we've talked about this early on, how athletes have to die 2 deaths, or you live 2 lives. You're going to have to die 2 deaths. The death as an athlete, and then eventually your death as a civilian, living that life, the normal dad life, wife life, whatever it is off the field. So the reason you don't need the game any longer is because you've given it absolutely everything you have, and it's given back to you what you put into it. And it's kind of like it's a wash. You get up from the table, and the dealer is going to walk away and receive their paycheck, and you've just cleaned out the house, and both of you are going to sleep at night, and you don't need each other after that. And that's how that goes. That's just how some people process it. And I think and that's why there's the difference between people that, you refer to as lifers, ones that doesn't matter. You rip the jersey off, they're going to find their way back into the game. They're going to, you know what I mean? They're there. And that's just, those are different mentalities. Those are different levels of, I don't want to say levels of love, because it's not like one loves it more than the other. It's just that one has made peace with what the game has given them and what they've taken from the game and put into it, and has decided to go a different route.
Yeah. I mean, like, because you carried that into, like, podcasting, essentially, because spring training 2019, your wife was due to give birth any second, and you're on a fucking RV in the swamps of Florida.
Well, let's be real, Gerrit. People forget that the very first podcast we did, I did from the delivery room. My wife was on the hospital bed, ready to give birth to our child, our firstborn child.
Yeah.
And I was in the bathroom in the hospital room doing a podcast, because my wife was like, no, you're good. We got hours. And so I was like, fuck it. You're right. We're good. Let's go. Let's do this thing.
Yeah.
Like, if you're doing something, you commit to it, right? You do it. Like, that's one thing that because that's what I know how to do, Gerrit. That's grinding straight up. Like I tell you, do I know that the 5 a.m. runs in the rain on the levee back home in the 209 got me to the big leagues? Nope. Do I know that they hurt? Probably didn't hurt. Did it make me a better ball player? Don't know. Did it hurt me? Didn't hurt. So just that kind of, put your fucking head down and get to work and get the shit done and commit and get it on the other side of that rainbow. Some folks don't want to, they just don't want to look back and look at where they've come from. They want to be okay with getting to the other side of the rainbow. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Like, I tried it. I fucking
did a podcast in the bathroom of the delivery room, and it was like the last leg of Spikes Up Tour, the first one in 2019. And we're in Fort Myers. We hit Red Sox camp the day before, go to bed.
Oh, yeah.
We got an interview at Nelly Cruz Twins camp the next day. I wake up at 6 a.m. and Dallas is like, yeah, I'm already on a plane. My wife's about to give birth like any second. I was like, all right, sick. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, and again, she was like, and this is straight up, dude. Like, it's funny that we're talking about this right now, because my family just left this morning, and I was going to send like I was going to make an appreciation post. This chick, man, my wife, from West Virginia, from LA to West Virginia, 2 little girls under the age of 3 years old, 2 fucking car seats, the luggage that all of that requires, all herself to West Virginia, back to LA, out to Oakland, and is now going back to LA. Like, you need a rider. You need an absolute rider in this game. And for her to go, yeah, what do we got? 2 weeks before this kid comes, and we know that it could come at any point in time within this 2-week window. And she's like, fuck it, go for it.
Yeah.
She's like, because I know you'll get up on a plane at any time, right? And I was like, you know it. And she goes, so all I got to do is make the phone call. I know it's not going to matter when. Go for it. And that's the give and take. If she's going to give me that, right, then it's the absolute, like, you call me at 2 a.m. like she did, and she was like, Dal, got to go. And I was like, got it. And I was up and out of that fucking hotel room, bro, in 5 minutes. Gone. From a dead sleep to in a fucking Uber. Later.
Yeah, that was wild. But that's what it takes. And I guess, kind of circle back to, like, the whole David Wells thing. That's one of those guys that had a very good Major League Baseball career, 21 seasons. And here he is telling us, I haven't watched the game in 2 years. And I guess it's more of a disgust than a disinterest in
from Boomer's perspective. Yeah, from Boomer's perspective, it was. And again, I didn't have that 21-year career like he did. Like I said, my arm fell off, but I was sitting on the river, content with, like, you know what, my grandma's taken care of. I'm pretty good. Like, what do you want to do? Well, fuck, not playing baseball kind of sucks. But you know what sucks even more right now? Not watching baseball. Who the fuck wants to not watch baseball right now? Like, I love the game. Love the game.
Yeah. So we've had a week of the foreign substance checks.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them, so I've gone back and forth about how I feel about this, and I think I've decided where I land, and it's with the Shohei Ohtanis of the world, where, like, just fucking just give them your cap and your glove and your belt and do it with a smile. I mean, these guys are just doing their jobs. Like, I think some of these guys at first, like their first ever checks, they were like taking it personally. They were like, "Oh, you want to check me? You're gonna fucking check me right now? Here, I'll drop my pants." Like, "Oh, you think I'm fucking cheating?" It's like, no. Come on. Like, everyone's getting checked, man. Like, come on. Like, don't throw the fucking temper tantrum. Just, like, Shohei Ohtani pitches an inning, comes off the mound. He's like, "Oh yeah, here you go. Here.
Who threw the temper tantrum?
I think Sergio Romo didn't handle it the best.
Sure.
Max Scherzer, I understood why he was upset when Joe Girardi, like, accused him, but he also didn't handle it gracefully when he was randomly getting checked the first couple of times. Like, I understand it's frustrating to get checked multiple times, but like the first time he ever got checked, he wasn't super polite about it.
Well, he just had he was like,
but that's, like, compare that to what Shohei Ohtani's check looked like, and you're like, these guys are just doing their jobs. Like, these are the rules, man.
You're absolutely right. And I said this on the broadcast last night. The umpires have been put in an impossible position. Who's harder on umpires, bro? Like, I hammer these guys. I tell them at every opportunity, the fucking robots are coming. The robots are coming. And I can easily acknowledge how difficult of a spot these guys have been put in. All right, they don't want to be looking for this shit any more than they don't want to find anything either. I promise you that, because if that happens, then what happens? Oh, you guys found one. That's all you found was one. So we ask you to do your job, and you can't even do that correctly. So it's almost better that they just don't ever find anything and tell you that they've done their job as best as they could possibly have done. And then we figure out a way to move on from this in the offseason. Not move on, but move on in a way where we've got control of this. And I said this, like, after day one, I think I sent out a tweet. Day one assessment, it does nothing to hinder the game speed. They found a point in time where they could check the pitcher. We still haven't addressed what's going to happen if the pitcher comes off the mound and is checked and actually does have something. Like, we haven't addressed that, other than what the player is going to endure, which is a paid suspension. So we still have to talk about what happens to those runs.
Why is it paid,
score.
by the way?
I think because there's still room for there's still that gray area. Like, well, hey, you know what? My catcher may have loaded up there and whatever. So go check him. And then the catcher doesn't have it on his hands, but it's on the ball. But the pitcher doesn't have it on his hands. So where'd it come from? Like, who are you going to hammer for that? If you're suspending the pitcher, like, you know what I mean? It just feels like there's not a place to pin it down on definitively so that we can start taking money. And I believe also, Gerrit, in my heart of hearts, the reason why there's no money being taken here is that's MLB's way of saying, look,
let's go into labor negotiations.
Well, we kind of told you that we weren't going to do this anyway in the first place. Like, we told you, have no fear of retribution. And now here we are telling you we're coming after you. So in the spirit of good faith, right, guys? In the spirit of good faith, we're not going to take your money, but you are going to get suspended.
Mm-hmm.
And
which is crazy, yeah.
I think that's honestly part of it.
We saw one instance with Diego Castilla where he they made him switch his hat.
Yep. Just because of the
it's Castillo or Castilla?
Castillo. Diego Castillo.
Yeah. He had to switch his hat, and I didn't hear anything after that, but they and like, so it's one of the points that you've made a bunch of times. Like, how do you make the game better? You got to mic up these umpires. Like, how the fuck do we know what just happened? You just made him switch his hat. What'd you find?
Well, listen, Gerrit, and this goes back to the culture, all right? Think about the exchange with Terry Collins and
yeah.
Oh fuck, who was that? Was that Dan Is? No, that wasn't Dan Iasonia. But anyway, that exchange. Hey, our ass is in the jackpot here. Like, that level, okay? When they're explaining to each other, hey, Terry, you had your shot. You had your shot. And Terry's going, well, I want another one. I want like that. Think about that level of understanding. In the heat of the moment, there's a level of understanding between the umpire and the manager of a team that somebody's getting thrown at. Like, we're not even arguing about that. There's a level of understanding that was going to happen. What we're talking about now is that it didn't happen the way we know it should have happened. And since that didn't happen and it turned out like this, well, now we got to do something, Terry. Fuck, you know that and I know that. There's a level of just wink, wink, nod, nod that's gone on in the game for so long. Fans might not be aware of the level of it. And that's just seriously think about that. You got an umpire and a manager arguing about who's getting thrown at and why. No, it's about not getting him and what it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, how did you feel watching some of these react? Like, how did you feel?
So the Romo thing, you always got to remember. Like,
not
what
even
if you,
Romo.
like,
talk Scherzer first. Like, how did you feel about his first reaction? And like, I think we all understand the frustration when Joe Girardi's like, check his hair, check it. It's like, all right.
Sure. Well, let's start with reaction number one. First check. He's irritated, frustrated, grinded, because he's a competitor, go-getter, blah 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 blah. But he's also somebody who had his name thrown about, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's a level of, fuck, here we go. All right, let's just get through this, that he's also considering. So that's reaction number one, which is understandable. And to your point, it's not a Romo level reaction. All right, but we'll get to that. So check number two, well, bro, it's not even the fifth inning yet. Like, I've pitched and you checked me, and now I've thrown a couple more innings, and now you're checking me again? Like, when is this how this is going to go? When is this going to stop? Like, how many of these are there? Like, what the fuck is going on?
I didn't like how they're, like, throwing their glove at the umpire's feet. Like, pick that shit up, motherfucker. It's like, we don't need, like, Wally Backman situation.
And you're also, you are correct there. There's a level of, but again,
it's not, like, the umpires that are saying, like, hey, we're going to start cracking down. Like, they're just being told this is now part of your job.
But in a player's mind, the umpire is sort of viewed as the henchman from the commissioner. Like, I know who you're, a fucking foot soldier. All right, Shredder sent you here, and you're a fucking foot soldier. I got you. So you want me to be nice to you? You want me to make friends with one of the foot soldiers? No. Here's my fucking glove. And that's the thought. Okay, I'm not telling you that that's okay. Please understand that. I'm just telling you that that's kind of the thought. And in the heat of battle, you're trying to like compartmentalize that thought with trying to shove it up somebody's ass at the plate. Like, oh, fuck, there's a lot of emotion here right now. Like that Scherzer specifically was dealing with. Again, name being thrown about, the competitor that he is, the second check before the 5th inning. All of that is piling on for Scherzer. And then it overflows with Girardi and check his hair. Now, seriously, bro, is that something that you would think we would see in the year of our Lord 2021? Alfonso Marquez rolling and rubbing his fingers through Max Scherzer's fucking sweaty ass hair in the. I mean, what?
Yeah.
What?
It's a goddamn circus.
And that's where Girardi is like. Look. He got what he had coming to him. One way or the other, he got what he had coming to him. Getting ran. Because now Scherzer's telling him, fuck you. Got nothing on my hands, nothing on my glove. Kiss my ass. You want to feel my hair? Fucking shave my head and shove it up your ass. I don't care. And then he's chirping at Kevin Long. Like, think about where that went. Joe Girardi ran out of the dugout and challenged his ex-hitting coach to a fucking fight on a baseball field after Max Scherzer just had his hair with fingers ran
Massaged.
through it by an umpire.
You had a goddamn Pert Plus commercial happen in the middle of the fucking field.
Sake. Yeah. Alfonso Marquez is checking Max for lice, and now Joe Girardi wants to fight the other team's hitting coach because he had Max checked. What?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, but to your point about like Scherzer being a competitor, like that doesn't quite cover it. Like he is probably. Would you say he's the most intense competitor in Major League Baseball right now? Like on start day, who's more intense and focused and like geared up than Max Scherzer?
Another name comes to mind, Giolito.
I wouldn't even put them in. I wouldn't put them in the same tier. Like in the
Scherzer
playoffs last year, we were talking about Giolito and like his psycho face that he had going, but that was the playoffs. Like that's not Giolito every 5th day.
And that's
this
my
is
point
Scherzer fucking spring training every 5th day playoffs. Like he's like fucking spitting all over the place.
He's an angry fella on the mound.
Yeah.
And
I don't think that there's a comparison right now.
Nope. There isn't. There's not a like as far as a controlled, chaotic vibe. That's what Scherzer takes to the mound. Like mound presence, it's a different level of mound presence. He creates an aura in the diamond and in the infield, an energy.
We no longer have Grant Balfour.
No, like you ever watch for the folks who maybe don't watch Scherzer very closely, like just watch the dude after punch outs, and let's say he's punched out 3 in a row, maybe 4 in a row, like that 3rd and 4th punch out in a row. The way he walks around the mound afterwards, he is stalking his prey. He is a lion in a den with a bunch of crippled fucking baby impalas. And he is just like, oh, you're toast. You are fucking toast.
Yeah.
He wants to rip a neck out. And there's no fucking with that. And that's part of getting derailed. He doesn't like that. Kershaw acknowledged that. Like, come on. One of the game's greatest, and you got nothing on him? You better have something. And that's why, I jokingly said, no, we take the manager up there and we throw at him. He has to wear a fucking fastball.
Yeah.
Suck
I said
on that.
T-shirt cannon to the balls.
Yeah, love that too. But then, like naturally, the gravitation is towards challenges. Any sort of strategic lever that the manager has to pull. If you think that you're going to just start strategically and in a manner of gamesmanship start delaying the game and having guys checked, no. Then we're going to start taking your levers. You don't get to pull these. Like, and that's a no-brainer. But again, we have to have that conversation. We have to get there.
So I totally get it. Like I think we all get Scherzer's frustration when he's checked in the middle of the inning.
Yeah.
I didn't like, and it's not that Scherzer was the only one who did it, but when you're a guy of his stature, it stands out more. Like the throwing the glove and the belt at the feet of the umpires. Didn't like that. But Sergio Romo, I mean, this is a guy no one has accused of cheating. No one has talked about his spin rate numbers. He's in the crosshairs of nobody. This is just, you're in the game now. You're walking off, and we got to check you, just like everybody else. I was very confused by his. Like, obviously, it's a funny clip. Like, when I tweeted it out, I was like, we've got guys going full Steve Lyons pulling their pants down right now.
Buddy.
But I don't understand why his reaction was so strong.
Well, I tell you why. It's because this is what I was going to say. Dude gives up a run, right? You give up a jack.
Yeah, and then
like,
you got to get checked.
And
it's
then,
like, buddy, you don't got to check me. I just gave up a fucking
that's the thing.
bomb.
And so I've said, like, it's almost like at that point in time, if I was the umpire, that's where I take that moment to get my punch in. Like, hey, like if Sergio Romo, and I love Serge, and I told him this, like, you throw your glove and shit like that at me and I'm the umpire, you want to know what I do? I've been down and I pick it up and I go, look, I don't need to fucking check you either. I'm out here umpiring this game. I watched what just fucking happened. I have no doubt in my mind. No doubt in my mind. Like, just let me do my job and hopefully you can do yours a little better. And, we'll see each other again. But look, dude, that's kind of how, like, if I'm an umpire, could you imagine, like, as a player, I'm thinking to myself, hold on, what the fuck? Like, how do I even react to that? I don't even. Okay. Well,
Touché.
son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Touché.
Yeah.
Like, damn. Like, but seriously, and that's me talking about a guy on the team that I broadcast for. And it's because, look, Sergio he's a colorful dude, as is, and he's like, look, what do you want? You want my glove? You want my belt? I'll take my fucking pants off right here. I don't care. Let me do that. He dropped his pants down to his damn kneecaps almost. Yeah. And but that's coming from, like, you go out there and get roughed up as a player, you're going, look, dude, did you see what just fucking happened? If I was cheating, if I had anything, I'd like to believe that those balls don't go over that wall out there, okay? But that fucking didn't happen. So you and I are having this conversation. Why? And then that's where the umpire goes, well, strictly because I have to have this conversation. You're absolutely right. I'm watching you. That's dog shit at best. I have no idea why you're not trying to cheat, if I'm being honest. Yeah. You know what? Actually, next game, I'll fucking look the other way. I'll just rub the backside of your glove. You need help.
Yeah. I mean, something that just hit me as we were talking about this, like checking a guy like Sergio Romo, I don't think it has registered with baseball fans yet just how many pitchers were doing this, because, like, think about it from that perspective. It got to the point where Major League Baseball is like, we have to check everybody. Like, it's not even a matter of like, oh wow, like there's like 4 or 5 guys and like they're using some shit that they should not be using. Like, we got to crack down on these individuals. They're like it. So I equate it to when I was in high school, like my senior year, out of nowhere, like there would be like bomb threats every week. They would be like right on the bathroom stalls, bomb, fucking March 25th. Bomb, and then like people would call in bomb threats, and then it got to the point where they just like shut it down for everyone. They like locked the bathrooms. Everyone had to wear an identification badge, and I was like, and it's what Gerrit Richards said. Gerrit Richards was like, thank God that they started doing this at this stage of my career and not sooner. Like, I'm almost out the door. Like, this fucking sucks. Like, it was the same thing. It was like, it was my senior year. I was like, I feel bad for the freshmen. Like, if this is how it has to be for you guys for your whole high school career. Like, thank God we got to fuck around for as long as we did. And then they started cracking down on all this shit. Same exact thing. Like, you have to check everyone.
I would love, like, seriously, I would love to hear what a guy like Gaylord Perry would have to say about this, his opinion on this, as a guy who was grandfathered in to the next era of pitching with his illegal pitch.
Yeah.
Like, him and 16 other guys. Like, you know this, right? I've told you this. You know this, and I don't, like, you didn't know it till I told you. A lot of people don't know this. There was guys that were allowed to throw illegal pitches because they already threw them beforehand. So when they were kind of rewriting the rules and telling people that they couldn't cheat, well, there was a group of people that were cheating so much that it was a part of what they did. Like, that's what they threw. Mm-hmm. And so the commissioner, instead of telling them that they couldn't do it, was like, all right, you guys over there, just you guys can do that. Just you guys can throw that spitter, okay? Everybody else, no. And baseball players, being the honest individuals we are, said, sounds good.
Yeah. I think they did that with the fire department. They they made it not illegal. It's not against the law, but they banned firefighters from smoking cigarettes. But if you were already a cigarette smoker when they made the rule, then those guys could still smoke cigarettes, but all the new guys could not. They were grandfathered in ripping heaters.
Just ripping a heater on a 4-alarm on the ladder.
Yeah.
Hand me the axe, Fred. I'm going in. This young pup can't get it done.
Yeah. Like, that's insane. If they were just like, yeah, Gerrit Cole, Bauer, like all these guys, they can keep using spider tack. But if anyone else fucking starts using it, you're banged. You're done. Sorry.
Now I've just got this image of these fucking just manly ass firefighters ripping packs of heaters in the middle of a burning building while all these young dudes are strapped with oxygen tanks crawling on the floor, and these old guys are like, it's not even hot yet. You kidding me?
Yeah. You got fucking Dale driving ladder 3, just ripping a heater going down Route 1.
I've got farts that come out hotter than this fire. This shit
ain't nothing. Should have seen the one back in 76. You want a real fire.
Lost 3 toes and an eyebrow.
Still trying to grow my eyebrows back.
Oh, poor Dale. That's why he's driving now.
Yeah. He's earned it. He's earned his spot. But that was a big thing this week. Is I believe that there's a Twitter account now dedicated to it. There's a Twitter account that just tweets videos of pitchers getting checked, and we're not even a full week into this, and it's got like 30,000 followers. Like, people are very in tune with, and I think it's funny, like, when people, I'm sure you get the same thing, like friends, family, that they're interested in baseball, but they're like diehard hockey or they're diehard football, and they're like, dude, what's going on with your sport? And it's like, we've been a shit show forever. It's just you guys are just starting to notice it now. Like, we're the crazy uncle at Thanksgiving dinner. We're making a ruckus, and now we're drawing the attention of people that don't care about baseball. They're like, what the fuck is going on over there? Like, what's going on at that house? It's like, we are a sport that has been under a cloud of cheating scandals for like fucking 20 years minimum.
20?
Well, in terms of like
since
public
its inception.
No. Cheating's been going on in baseball forever. But I'm talking about national appeal, where it's like the steroid era, the Astros, and now the sticky stuff. Like, we're just rolling out cheating scandals left and right. Baseball fans are like, that's what we do. We cheat, and
we're like, baseball players are no longer athletes. We're just athletic con men. Is what, like, the general public looks at a baseball player like, oh, you're just an athletic white collar criminal. Gotcha.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. You're a socially acceptable criminal. You've been accepted by society as someone who can cheat the system for financial gain, and
maybe that's
okay.
Maybe that's why fans will continue to come to the game, is because they're opening. It's like Sodom and Gomorrah. You're letting it, like, hold on, we can go fucking party in baseball right now. Like, we can you can do whatever you want in baseball. You go to baseball, you can cheat. You got all kind of, you can
guaranteed contracts,
cameras, guaranteed contracts.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's all you could. It's a fucking wonderland.
Yeah,
it's a sports wonderland.
You just got to get away with it. That's the only problem.
That's it.
Like,
that's tough.
Tyler Glasnow, when he had that little press conference that he had after he got hurt, he was blaming not being able to use sticky stuff, and he said one thing that stood out. And he's like, "Hey, your favorite pitcher, he's probably used some shit." And and then I forget who he referenced, but it was someone that pitched like 30 years ago. He's like, he wasn't talking about, hey, your favorite pitcher who pitches right now, he uses sticky shit. He wasn't throwing his, fellow brethren who are active in the league under the bus. He was saying, hey, you're a big Ron Guidry guy? Yeah, he was doing some shit. Oh, you like fucking Sandy Koufax? How do you think he spun that curveball?
Yeah. And
wait till you find, hey, Ace fans, wait till you find out what Dallas Braden was using when he was getting a little tack on the ball. Yeah.
There's been, and the old have you seen the video of Nolan Ryan? I'm sure you've seen that video.
Which one?
Of him talking about using, potentially, not him specifically, guys maybe using pine tar to get a little feel for your curveball or whatever it may be.
Lou Merlone didn't name names, but he was like, He was like, yeah, when I'm playing fucking second base or shortstop, there was a guy there that was pretty good that was on the mound, and I'd get a ground ball hit to me, and I'd fucking like you could hear it get stuck to my hand and like rip off my fingertips when I'm throwing the ball to first. It's like you act like
it's really
not a new
humid.
thing.
It can be humid in Boston. Let's be honest.
Yeah, it was Derek Lowe.
Okay.
Yeah. And there's guys. To Glasnow's point, there's a very good chance your favorite pitcher of all time was using some little sticky icky. But that's, again, we've made the point 1,000 times. It's about what the substance is. Spider Tack, rosin, sunscreen. Because I was talking to an American League reliever, and I was like, okay, so like if you guys play a day game and you're in fucking Kansas City, so you have to wear say you're like or say it's like a 7:00 game in Kansas City, and you went out and about for lunch. You put sunscreen on that day. You have to shower before the game. I mean, most guys shower before the game anyway, but you've got to like shower. Make sure that you shower before the game to get that sunscreen off, because you could get suspended for 10 games because you like wanted to protect your skin during the day when you just were getting lunch earlier.
Yeah, like there would be a real issue with me, like, and it's out there. I'm not gonna say it's common knowledge, but my mother passed away from melanoma, and I've talked about that, and that's all falling on deaf ears if it's me, knowing what you have to do to take care of yourself, and as I've talked about on this podcast, how deeply UV rays can penetrate where you think you're out of the woods. No. Overcast days, people often think that that's just a great time to go without a shirt. Nope. Actually, UV rays get magnified, and just no. You're not going to tell me that I have to choose between my health and safety and my livelihood and rules because you can't figure your shit out. No, that's a fucking no. And here's the thing. Have you seen any of these pitchers have their hands or arms checked, Jared?
Arms, no. I mean, like.
And when I say listen, just because you can see my arms and are looking at them
doesn't
mean you're checking them.
Yeah.
Have you seen anybody check a hand, like put their hand to the hand of another player?
No, it's mostly been gloves and belts and hats.
And just a flashing of hands, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to tell you right now, if it was me right now, if it was me, and you're telling me that I can't use rosin and sunscreen, and I'm watching nobody's hands get checked, and I'm watching nobody's arms get checked, meaning you're not touching my arm, you're not touching my hand, guess what I'm using on my start day? What I used every fucking day up until the day you told us we couldn't. I'm going to go ahead and use that now, because you're not touching my arm, and you're not touching my hand, and it's rosin and fucking sunscreen, asshole. That's all it is.
Yeah.
So
what are you going to do? That, so far, I don't think that anyone is, even if they haven't checked arms, I don't think that anyone is doing that currently, because everyone's just bugging out because of everyone getting checked. But
well, then I'll just ask you to pay attention, Jared. And that's look.
Managers are paying attention.
Oh,
so you think that you have personally witnessed pitchers rubbing their arms?
No. I'm saying pay attention. Like, just pay attention to that.
Yeah, I think that if a fucking pitcher is out there this past week and they're rubbing their forearm, that someone in the opposing team's dugout is going to be like, "Hey, you might want to check."
Oh, well, yeah,
this guy.
So yeah, I see guys rub their forearm, but what you see guys doing now is they'll rub their forearm and then go to their pant leg, or they'll like rub their forearm, lick their hand, go to their pant leg, and that's just like communicating, kind of like if that guy had shit on his hand, would he be licking his fucking hand? Probably not.
Yeah.
So you're watching players do those things.
Well, the pant leg is another place that people would put stick.
What's that?
I said the pant leg is another place that pitchers would put a sticky substance that it's also not being checked.
Well, not what would be deemed. They're not putting on their pant leg a substance that they're not putting spider tack on their pant leg.
No.
I'll say that.
No.
That's all I'll say. But they're not putting spider tack on their pant leg.
Yeah.
Because can't hide that. You
Sure
can't hide that. There's other things that blend in.
No. You sure can't hide the fact that Gosling's rum is fucking amazing. Because Gosling's rum, with its Bermudian values, motivates people to take time and stop to smell the roses, to step away from the rat race and be happy. Family owned and operated since 1806, which is right around the time that baseball players started cheating.
That's just unfair.
Gosling's rum is the spirit of Bermuda, and the Dark and Stormy is Bermuda's national drink. The name Dark and Stormy was said to have originated around the 1920s, which is when, right after Babe Ruth killed his wife.
Whoa, easy with that. You have no facts.
And that's also when an old fisherman observed that the drink was the color of a cloud that only a fool or a dead man would sail under, probably followed by barman, I'll have another Dark and Stormy. Gosling's makes it even easier, as they have ready-to-drink Dark and Stormy canned cocktails. It's 100% authentic with no malt base. It's just Gosling's Black Seal rum and Gosling's Stormy ginger beer ready to go. Find it in your local liquor store or premium or pre-mixed cocktail aisle. I actually have a fridge full of those right now.
The pre-mixed with Johnny's?
Yes. The upstairs fridge. I have a little upstairs fridge that I keep all my little tasty treats in. So I've got some of the pre-mixed Dark and Stormy in a can. Gosling's is the official rum of the Boston Red Sox and offer a limited release Red Sox edition Fenway Green Dark and Stormy can available at Fenway Park and at liquor stores in New England. On reservebar.com, you can receive $15 off your order of any Gosling's product with the promo code Barstool. I'm going to Fenway right after we're done recording. I have BP passes. And it's been a while. I mean, obviously, like last year, I didn't have to face the music because we weren't allowed on the field. So I'm gonna stand there. And last time I told you I went. The first time, this will be my second time on the field for batting practice. The first time was when the Jays were in town, and no one was on the field for Jays BP. It was just me standing there watching them taking batting practice by myself. It was me and security. Mm-hmm. There will probably be others watching the Yankees, I would assume, but probably not a ton. I'm gonna stand there, and I wonder if anyone will air any grievances with me
from the Yankees.
Yeah.
Well,
I remember 2019.
I feel like that's a setup question there. I feel like that's a complete and total setup question. I feel like you already know the answer to that question.
I don't know the answer to that question. All I can tell you,
expecting to come over there is what I would ask.
All I can tell you is in 2019, which is probably before I really laid it on thick with some of these guys. I stood there on the Red Sox side, and I was pretty close. I was on the grass. And there were some looks over at me and some like whispers into ears to make sure that what was said was not received on my end. But I'll still stand there. I'm nothing if not accountable.
From who? Who's whispering?
They were like bench coaches and shit. They were coaches.
Phil Nevin?
I don't think it was Nevin. I don't know the answer.
Josh Bard?
I'm not withholding names to protect anybody. I really don't. I didn't recognize that.
So you're scared. You're scared to name names.
If it happens again, I'll let you know.
Oh, push me again. See what happens. Push me again.
Yeah, I'll let you know if I can even tell you who the individuals are. But yeah, no. I mean, I'm open for discussion. I can't talk my shit. I mean, that's the number one thing that I get from Yankee fans is. You won't say that to their face. And it's like, well, I'll give them the opportunity. I'm not going to go up to them, but I won't approach them. But I will stand there. And if there are any grievances that need to be aired, I'm all ears. I'm all ears. Be right there all weekend.
I think you'll be safe.
I mean, yeah, of course, from like a physical altercation. But
I just meant anybody. Yeah.
if someone came up, it would not be the first time. It wouldn't be the first time that someone came up with an issue.
What, like a player?
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah. Well, that's what being down on the field is for. Like,
No doubt.
If you've got a quiver full of arrows and you're firing those, you've got to go down and become a target for their arrows as well if they've got them. That's just
Bring it
how
on.
that goes. There's a give and take.
Right here.
That's how that
Stand
goes.
right here.
That's what you're there for.
I'm gonna be wearing the tightest fucking shirt you've ever seen in your life.
You won't get airbrushed.
What, like a spray tan?
No, I mean like they can airbrush a shirt
Oh.
on you. So it just looks like you're wearing like
Stanton
just a
did
straight-
that, didn't he? He did that
Who?
for like the Giancarlo Stanton. He did like ESPN the body issue, and they just like spray painted his shirt on or something.
Yeah.
Of course, I would do that.
Yeah, you should do that. You should
Maybe I
do
will.
that and go down on the field.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, I will.
dare I call it a flex.
They might have an issue with that.
I mean, how would they know?
I guess not. Jacob deGrom's back.
Yeah, he's back.
What's he got? Like a half a run ERA right now?
I don't even know if it's that high. If I'm honest,
And he qualified.
I'm
like,
higher than
he's-
his ERA right now. I'll tell you that.
I feel like he's missed a couple starts, but I want to say he still qualifies for the ERA title.
Ooh, I don't think that's the case.
No, he does.
Does he?
Yep. He's
'Cause, I
got
mean,
a
that's just gonna be the
0.50
easiest-
ERA.
Like, is there any point in qualifier if a guy like that is going to do what he's going to do and it's the bare minimum, and then you've got a guy who has a really good year with a large body of work, but if there's the qualifier and it's Jacob deGrom and it's that body of work against a guy, let's say, that throws 190, 200-plus innings with a high 2, like, who we giving that to?
I mean, he's missed 3 starts.
But
He's missed 3
it's
starts.
trending to where he's not going to make 25 starts, right? Or like maybe that's what
I don't
he
know.
makes.
I mean, like he just keeps bouncing back. Like he's had his injuries for sure.
well, that's
but-
what I'm saying. They just keep popping up. So if they keep popping up and shit keeps, how long before he misses? I hope never.
Yeah. So there's
Knock
3
on wood.
guys with a
I hope
sub
never.
2 right now. A sub 2. And I want to throw Trevor Rogers in there because I know Marlins fans listen to this podcast and they're like, "What the fuck? You guys never talk about Trevor Rogers."
I talked
Trevor
about
Rogers
Trevor
has a
Rogers.
2.08 ERA. He's thrown 86 and 2/3 innings, and he's punched out 101 batters. So he's in the 100K club, which is, how many are we up to now? There's a few. There's 19,
Pitchers?
and he just entered it. Trevor Rogers, Chris Bassett, I can see.
Yep.
Joe Musgrove, Robbie Ray, Rodon, Darvish, Burns, Giolito, Woodruff, Kershaw, Gosman, Scherzer, Freddie Peralta, who doesn't get to. I mean, Freddie fucking Peralta, like the Brew Crew fucking rotation is disgusting.
Here we go.
I mean, Brandon Woodruff has a 189, 111 strikeouts in 95 innings. Corbin Burns, a 262, 108 strikeouts in 68 and 2/3 innings. And then you have Freddie Peralta, who has a 211 with 114 strikeouts in 81 innings. You don't want to fucking see the Brew Crew in October. Are you shitting me? That rotation is disgusting, and no one will talk about it besides me.
I don't think that's true at all.
Is anyone outside of Milwaukee? Not that I even consider myself outside of Milwaukee. Even if I'm physically outside of Milwaukee, my heart's always in Milwaukee. So is anyone outside of Milwaukee talking about how you don't want to run into the Brew Crew in October?
Well, no, because it's not even July yet, so we're not having that conversation. I mean,
Anyways.
it's right around the corner.
I'm going to throw Freddie Peralta and Trevor Rogers into this discussion, just for argument's sake. But Jacob deGrom has thrown 72 innings this year. He's made 12 starts. And then compare that to a Kevin Gosman, who I saw a Giants fan come at me on Twitter because I believe I said Happy Brandon Woodruff Day on Morning Wood. And then he was like, "Really? You're going to say fucking Brandon Woodruff instead of Kevin Gosman?" I was like, "Yeah, Kevin Gosman. Kevin Gosman is right behind, well, not I mean, he's not right, but he's a full imagine that. You have a fucking 149 and you're a full run behind the league leader.
Yeah, hang with him.
Yeah, he's got a 149 in 96 and 2/3 innings, and you have Brandon Woodruff, who's got a 189 in 95 innings. So, I mean, if we're talking, like, that's insane because if it comes down to voting, like, let's just say that, I hate doing this, but, like, if the season ended today, Jacob deGrom is winning the fucking Cy Young, obviously. Like, it doesn't matter that he missed the 3 starts and that there's a discrepancy in innings pitched.
Well, no, it doesn't matter because all the numbers, it is what it is. He's got, he's got more strikeouts. He's got a lower
14.6 strikeouts per 9, Dallas. Yeah, his strikeouts per 9 is 14.6. Gausman 10.4, Woodruff 10.5, Trevor Rogers 10.5.
Oh, I mean, buddy, you don't have to trust me. Like there's.
Would you even have to think about it? Would you even have to think about it?
No.
I give you a ballot right now. Hey, you have an NL Cy Young vote. You're just checking DeGrom and passing that in.
I'm asking why you handed me that ballot. I'm asking why we're taking the fucking vote. What are we doing?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm crumpling that up and I'm throwing it right back at your forehead. Stop it. You're better than that. Don't ask me that.
Yeah. Did you know that Marcus Stroman has a lower ERA than Gerrit Cole? Did you know that?
I did not know that. What's Stroh's ERA at? Low deuce.
2.32 compared to 2.33. Still lower. It's lower. Yes or no? Is it lower, Dallas? Say it.
Hey.
Say it.
You know I'm a fucking Stroh guy.
Say it.
You know I'm a Stroh guy. It is absolutely lower. I will never argue that 2.32 lower than 2.33. Not going to tell you that Marcus Stroman has a higher ERA than Gerrit Cole because that's just simply not true.
Gerrit Cole, not even the second best pitcher in New York. Say it.
Gerrit Cole does not have the second low, or Gerrit Cole has the second lowest ERA as a pitcher in New York.
Be unbiased for 1 second.
Third.
Gerrit Cole, not the best, not even the second best pitcher in New York.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. Gerrit Cole is not the. What did you say? Gerrit Cole is not the best pitcher in New York. Did you say he's not the second best?
He's not the second best pitcher in New York.
Ooh, no, that's. I don't know if that's true, Jared.
I think it is.
I don't know if that's.
Imagine if the Mets still had Zach Wheeler because he's got a 2.36 for the Phils.
Yeah, he's nasty.
Yeah, he's throwing more innings than Gerrit Cole too.
How about just nobody kicking the tires on Taijuan Walker?
Yeah, that was.
Did we talk about that? Did we talk about that last week?
I don't think we talked about it on the podcast. I mentioned it on Morning Wood that Taijuan Walker randomly, just from the clouds, it was last week, I want to say, after one of his starts, was like, yeah, by the way, the Mets were the only team to offer me a contract. And what was it, 2 years, 20 mil?
Mm-hmm.
2 years, 20.
So,
and
so if there's any teams out there that signed up pitchers for like 1 year, $10 million.
Is that a cheap shot at Corey Kluber?
No, that's not a cheap shot at anybody.
Oh, okay, yeah.
No, not.
Yeah, I was gonna say, he threw a no hitter, man. That's fucking sweet.
That's not a cheap shot. You're the one that has these New York pitchers in your crosshairs right now.
No, I mean, I just figured,
quit trying to load my gun and fire my bullets.
Yeah, I don't know. You think 1 year, $10 million? You think of the Klubot, man. You think of the Klubot.
I mean, you could probably look around other places too and find some of those similar deals. So
yeah, maybe.
That's all.
Maybe. I remember when the Padres traded for Joe Musgrove, and I mean that was not like a holy fuck. Look at the Padres, they got Joe Musgrove. I mean, like obviously it hit home for you personally.
Yeah, well, it hit home for me because not only because I was going, hey, what the fuck? Because Joe Musgrove, like unquestionably, was like the freak of the rotation, like the best athlete, just stuff like. Oh, what? Why? No. Let's keep Joe. No. We're not keeping Joe.
That was a sad day for Pirates Nation.
Joe's going bye-bye. It's all right. We got a couple all-stars. We got a couple of guys that should be all-stars.
Yeah. Who you got? Who you got making the all-star team from the Pirates?
I mean, why can't Brian Reynolds be an all-star?
I think he should be a fucking all-star. I don't even think like that's a situation where he makes the all-star team just because there needs to be one representative. I think he's just straight up an all-star.
Thank you for saying that. Thank you for saying that. Someone needed to say it.
I said
and it's better. Maybe it's even better that it's not me. But it needed to be said.
I think that's just facts. He spells his name weird.
Yeah. I don't know that I'm a big fan of the Y guys.
Yeah. Brian Reynolds is hitting .313 with a .946 OPS this season.
Just hit his, 13th jack or 12 and 13?
He's got
or something
13
like
jacks, and he's got 20 doubles.
Can we talk
That's
about
a pretty
Adam
nice
Frazier,
little
too?
on pace for.
Can we talk about Adam Frazier, too? We'll talk about him?
We can.
We should. He's hitting 330.
We should.
He's hitting 330. He doesn't have quite the power production as Reynolds, obviously. What about Brian Hayes? Can we get him to the All-Star game, too? No?
I don't know. The sample might be too small.
Is that getting
I
too
wouldn't
greedy?
be opposed to seeing him there, though. Love him.
That's probably
Great player.
way too greedy.
It's a great player. Dr. Claw. Dr. Claw is giving us the move on because we're talking about the Pirates part of the podcast.
What's it say? Why are we
Tisa?
you know what? Because we're fucking Pirates fans. That's what. Because I'm a fucking Pirates fan.
Well, I'm not a Pirates fan. I like to see Dallas happy. I like to throw him a bone. You know, anytime he gets to talk about the Pirates, I know the people love it. Even if people aren't Pirates fans, people listen to Starting Nine for Dallas's Pirates thoughts.
You come to get your fucking
Dallas, can we
Pirates
get one?
takes right
get
here.
one?
Not right now, Jared. I'm
Can we get
getting
one?
ready for an ad read. You know
Can we just get one?
that you can't call
Just
that
one.
shit
It's been
out.
a while.
I'm focused.
It's been a long
I'm
time.
trying to do my job, Jared.
I feel like
You're
we've
always raise it. Raise it. Tisa nutrient pouches provide oral stimulation with penetrating flavor. They have 7 delicious flavors and 14 different product options, which include pouches with and without caffeine for those who are big stimulation fans. Drinking with a Tisa in your mouth, even better. Why? It takes the flavor and overall product experience to a whole nother level. People, try a flavored seltzer with a cherry or a mango Tisa pouch in your lips, and oh, buddy, you call that a Teasantini. Holla! Martini with a mango hob, little Tisa pouch, spicy! Tisa highlights include no tobacco, no nicotine, no calories, no spitting, no mess. Best tasting, one of the best tasting tobacco alternatives. A little fresher breath, cuts cravings for snacks. No oral tobacco cravings, cigarettes, all that stuff, gone. Replace sunflower seeds, gum with the penetrating flavor and elevated focus from Tisa. You want more focus, more energy? You want to perform your best on the diamond? You need Tisa Performance. Energy pouches packed with powerful herbs and vitamins. New customers, that's you guys, can use Barstool 30. That's right. That's the code, Barstool 30. And that's going to get you 30% off your initial purchase at TeazaEnergy.com. That's TEAZA Energy.com.
Thank you for doing that, Dallas.
You're welcome. It felt good. It felt fucking good.
I could tell it felt good. It was long overdue. We needed it. Couple little stories we want to run through. Padres swept the Dodgers. We fucked up. We fucked up.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. We
I
fucked
blame
up.
you. I blame you.
I blame whoever updates the probable starters. Like we didn't have
That's
enough
fair.
information there.
We didn't.
Like I don't think I would have predicted a sweep if I knew that like Musgrove was going, and like we didn't have any of that information. I'm pretty sure it was just like a bunch of TBDs. So that's not our fault.
Can't blame us for that.
Yeah, so we're exonerated. Great series though. It's been great. I know some people, very, 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 very small community of baseball fans on Twitter being like, oh, I'm already sick of Padres versus Dodgers. If you're sick of Padres versus Dodgers, you don't love baseball. Get the fuck out of here. Like those games are so entertaining, and if you're watching the Padres broadcast, you get Don Orsillo making these calls. The Petco was at 100%. The fans were so fucking rowdy. They were so loud. Place going nuts for a
40,000
plus loaded walk.
Yeah, 40,000
in
plus all 3 games, dude.
Yeah.
Come on. You're already over that?
Yeah,
Like,
fuck
kiss
that.
my ass. You're already over that. Well, you
Yeah.
know what? Congratulations. Your fucking quarantine must have kicked ass. You dominated the pandemic where you don't give a damn about watching 120,000 plus baseball fans lose their shit over some of the best talent that the game has ever seen battling head to head over a 3-game series. You're better than that already? You know what? hats off to you. If that shit doesn't get you excited, then you have got life figured out, and damn, I want to be you.
Any big takeaways from that series?
I mean, how do you not acknowledge that the offenses can hang, and the offense can hang if they get a pitching performance that keeps them in the ballgame?
Yeah. I mean, there are a few takeaways there. Machado still balls hard. Like, that's a dude that rises to the occasion. Like, when there's a big moment, I feel like, besides when he's going up against Chris Sale in the World Series, like, Machado rose to the occasion there. And he did so last October as well. When Tatis isn't out there smashing homers, you can kind of lean on Machado to just do it all. Defensively, I mean, he's making plays in fucking right field as a third baseman. The double play to complete the sweep, like that
double play was so nasty. I please, people, appreciate that. Okay, that's why I tweeted what I did about him moving in the opposite direction, momentum carrying him in the opposite direction, to not only make that strong of a throw, but that accurate and strong of a throw with all of that factored in.
The transfer.
It's a big-time play, man. It's a big-time play. That's the kind of play you go and get Manny Machado for. Like, when you think about, oh, well, what's he going to do defensively? Sure, he's great. How long? No, that kind of shit right there.
Yeah.
That right there.
He's elite. Like, would you put him in the same category as Arenado and Chapman?
Yes.
You would?
Yes, I would.
Okay.
I absolutely would. Because Manny,
I think I would too.
Yeah, because Manny can get to – man, I'm telling you right now, the arm is otherworldly. The arm is otherworldly. And he's made throws in Baltimore that – and, I mean, folks might not want to I don't know how many older folks listen to this that are fans of Brooks Robinson-type older folks, but he's made plays that would have you going, you know what? I don't know if Brooksy makes that play.
Yeah.
Machado.
Dare I say Manny Machado underrated?
Well, I'm going to say
when you talk about third base defense, people talk about Nolan and Chappie before they ever bring up Machado, and when you talk about the San Diego Padres, people will talk about Fernando Tatis Jr. before they bring up Machado. Like, offensively, I mean, like, I think he's that's my take. Manny Machado underrated. He is.
I would say
underappreciated.
Yeah. Because for the folks that do know his game and pay attention to his game, like, there's no, I don't know. He's just one of those dudes. Like, for me, like you can't watch that guy play and tell me he's not like one of the best baseball players in the game.
Yeah.
You know,
you just look at him. He looks like he's one of the best players in the game.
Well, and again, I'm a guy like the pregame work, the kind of just watching guys, the diligence behind their effort. Just because he told you he's not a big Johnny Hustle guy, which you tweeted out, oh, Manny lied to us. Manny, big hustle guy. That, you know what happens? I'm going to tell you right now. He's playing for a team that is competitive, and he's a part of how competitive they are. And not to a point where, hey, Manny, you got to hit 340 with 40 and drive in 110 and play platinum level defense so the Orioles take fourth. No, not that kind of competitive. Competitive where all we need you to do right now is beat out this 1-for-4 infield knock, and that, like, everything else, because we've got guys that are going to do it. He's all for that. Fuck yeah. He's all for that.
He's not hitting as well as I thought he was. He's hitting 258 with an 802 OPS, but I expect that to climb. I expect that he'll be better. Jake Cronenworth, another guy that, I mean, like, that needs to become a household name.
Mm-hmm.
Burst onto the scene last year and just kept it going this year. I think
huge
he's outstanding.
Part of, like, the flexibility, because he's played some first base, right? He's played out. I believe he's played outfield as well.
Yep. Jake Cronenworth, all-star?
No.
Not an all-star for you.
What's he hitting right now?
284 with an 820 OPS, 11 homers, 17 doubles.
Fringe.
Okay.
Fringe. We'll get there. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Gerrit Cole.
Yeah.
Lowest spin rates ever on all of his pitches since 2017. So not ever, but since 2017.
Yeah,
Lowest
since he
spin
started cheating.
rates on all of his pitches since 2017. And we've
Yeah.
seen some other individuals as well, Jared, that the numbers are, dare I say, eye-popping when you take a look at some of the current numbers compared to numbers in the past.
My take might shock you here, Dallas.
All right, I'm sitting down.
I'm going to compare Gerrit Cole to someone right now. Who do you think I'm going to compare him to?
What are you getting ready to do?
I'm about to compare Gerrit Cole to Barry Bonds. I'm about to compare Gerrit Cole to Barry Bonds. Two guys that just didn't need to do it. Two guys that were good enough anyway. And you can point to the numbers in Pittsburgh, but I still think that Gerrit Cole, beyond just using spider tack, made adjustments, became a smarter pitcher, and I think a lot of that has to do with going to the Astros, and they were like, hey, you know, this pitch is really – I mean, they told him what was more effective than the Pirates were doing. So I think in addition to using spider tack to increase his spin rate and have nastier shit, he's also lost velo on all of his off-speed pitches. Like, we're talking like almost 3 miles an hour on curveball, changeup, everything. So I think, you know, a guy like Gerrit Cole, yeah, he was cheating for years, ever since he got to the Astros. But since he stopped, has his production stopped? I mean, like, he's still fucking nasty. Like, he's still an elite starting pitcher. So when Bonds was like, yeah, I'm going to fucking hop on the sauce, like, you got all these other guys doing it, well, what would I look like when I do it? Gerrit Cole hops on this spider tack train, and it's like, well, what would I look like if I had nastier shit? It's like, oh, you would look like the highest paid pitcher in baseball history. Okay. Well, they can't take that money away now, but they can take away the spider tack, and if they do that, are you still as good? The data would suggest no, that was not sustainable without a sticky substance.
The dominance isn't sustainable. There's a difference because the production.
I don't even know if that's true. I still think that I think the nastiness is not sustainable. Is the dominance sustainable? I think it is. Yeah.
Well, then the nastiness. I'm talking the nastiness plays into the dominance. That's what allows you to be dominant, is if you are that nasty. So if you can maintain nastiness, then now we can talk about maintaining this level of dominance, because those two impact each other. But what if your
nastiness is already at a level where you don't need synthetic nastiness?
Well, that's why we're having the conversation we're having right now, is because that's where it was. Is his level of dominance and his level of nastiness was such that he didn't need this help. Now, the level of nastiness that we've seen has shown us a level of dominance that got him the contract he received, and that's a different level than it was before.
Sure.
So, take away the nastiness, we take away that level of dominance, and we're kind of back to square one, where he was nasty and dominant, but not to that level. You know, there's a difference. And
so then let me ask you this, Dallas. Do you have the balls? Do you have the balls to say on June 25th that Gerrit Cole finishes the 2021 season with an ERA over 3?
Ooh, what's he at right now?
2.32?
2.3?
2.33. 2.33, right?
Yeah, 2.33, yeah. 2.33. No, I mean, look, there could be a blow up that occurs that just completely rocks that, and there could be a couple whatever. I don't think that that's going to be the case.
So you think he's going to still have a sub 3?
I think he'll still have a sub 3.
Will he?
And I'll tell you what can impact
Will he
that.
finish the season with lower? Are you taking over under 233?
Oh, I'd probably take over.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know
Like
what can
a
affect that as well is whether or not Gary Sanchez starts to get thrown into the mix. Like if Aaron Boone's like, hey, look, Gary's swinging the bat, all right, and you're not, you don't have Velcro anymore, so let's just fucking throw it to Gary in the general area. We feel like we've got him to a point where he can knock it down and defend himself. That's just maybe that can impact it too. There's a solid chance that does impact it, Gerrit, because a man's comfort level with the guy back there receiving his balls, that matters.
Yeah, it does matter. We'll see how that pans out because Gary's hitting the shit out of the ball. Pete Alonso will be defending his home run title.
Love it. I love Pedro Alonso for the simple fact that he is absolutely here for all of the bells and whistles of the game.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Home run derby, I'm in. Defending it, fuck yes. Let's roll. I love that because you got other guys in New York who are like, never again. Not unless that game swings back around to my ballpark are you going to see me in that home run.
I saw that, and I saw the praise that was met with, and I was like, I don't understand that at all.
Well, because people will always attribute a lack of production on the backside of an all-star game and a home run derby appearance to that home run derby appearance. And if you've got a guy who ties that to it as well, well, then it becomes an easy talking point if that happens, right? Like if that guy says, yo, you know what, not doing the derby because I feel like I kind of got out of whack after the fact, then the fans of the team that they want to see win the World Series are not going to be begging you to go show off personally. They will scream it from the mountains how you are a team guy because you don't want to do that because you care about October and who cares? They will defend that, Gerrit, till the death. So, I mean, that's a no-brainer. There's no question why.
Vladdy's out too.
It was. I know. Well, hey, that's what would you if you could have a chat with his wagon and beg him to get into the Derby? What would your plea to Vladdy's wagon be?
Be like, listen up, cheeks. I, as a Red Sox fan, acknowledged that Aaron Judge was the face of baseball after his performance at the 2017 Home Run Derby in Miami. That was when, I mean, obviously he had an unbelievable season, but it was that night where I was like, this guy transcends the game. He transcends the market of New York City. This guy has what it takes to be Jeter with personality. And then he fell off.
Oh, wow,
but
that's harsh.
He did. So with Vladdy, it's like, yes, he's done he almost murdered people at the Home Run Derby in 2019 in Cleveland.
2 balls in the air at the same time.
Yeah, it was insane. But it's like, let's run it back. Like, you could, even if you don't win, you could put on a show, especially in a ballpark like Denver. Like,
oh my God.
Could you imagine? Like, do you remember? I think it was in Milwaukee, I want to say.
You think guys are afraid of gassing out?
No, I don't. Like that's why, this should be the Home Run Derby that a guy like Aaron Judge, Vladdy, these guys are like, oh, it's fucking Denver?
Dude,
all I got to do is put the barrel on it. Like,
short of putting this event on the fucking moon, therethere's no other place I would want to see the game's biggest baseball bludgeoners
like, where's
than
Stanton?
the Mile High City. Exactly.
Go back and go search on YouTube Giancarlo Stanton's longest home runs in his career. They're all in the fucking Coors Field. He hits like 480. Like his home runs at Coors Field probably average 465.
They're massive. They are massive. And that needs to be on display.
Yeah, because this Home Run Derby this year, it's not going to be about who wins. It's going to be about who hits them the longest because they're in Denver.
Yep.
Like,
huge
It-
bombs. Like
yeah.
like hey, I want to make a push. Not only am I making a push for Matt Olson to get to Colorado, but if he's in Colorado, that's a dude that would be a treat to watch.
Yeah. He's just
Take
got that
fucking-
looping swing.
It is
He'll just sock homers until he gets tired.
it's poetry in motion. It is so beautiful. It is so damn beautiful.
Yeah. I'm excited. Even though Vladdy's not going to be there, Judge won't be there. I'm excited. You got Pedro Alonso defending the title. You got Shohei Ohtani. It'll be a good time. All right, we're getting the wrap it up sign again. The Astros won 10 straight.
Offense is good.
They've won 11 straight. I'm sorry, Freddie. I still haven't answered him. He keeps DMing me. Thanks for the shout out, and hopefully more Astros talk. But I'm never gonna answer your DMs ever.
That's good enough for Freddie. That's good enough for Freddie. I tell you right now.
Yeah. He's talk about the Astros. Talk about Altuve. Yeah, they won 11 straight. Does that concern you at all? They've got a nice little 2-game lead now.
Rain. Let me tell you about rain, Jared.
Yeah, please do.
You sunglass guy. I'm a sunglass guy. We're both big sunglass guys. However, you need to find a pair that you get comfortable with. Find a pair that fits you. A pair that you fit. My sunglasses, that's typically an issue of mine, never fit perfectly. I like things to fit precisely. These things, they get that done. They do it. Rain. You know what I'm talking about, Carabas? Rain. You got to check them out. They make the best classic handmade sunglasses money can buy. Handmade. Rain was founded back in 2009. 3 California guys just kind of pissed off. Quality of eyewear, not solid. They're not into it. So we got to do something about it. They set off on a sunglass journey focused on using premium materials, and that's what they have brought to you, the people, are premium, carefully crafted, handmade sunglasses. Lenses manufactured by the world-renowned Carl Zeiss Vision. You know that. And the frames, highest quality materials man can find. They maintain that shiny new sunglasses look for years on end. Through all the drops and wear and tear, doesn't matter. You stay flossing. They have UV, UVB, UVA protection, tons of polarized options. So you can make sure your glasses don't just look good, they feel good, but they're actually doing the job at reducing glare. So you can see a little bit more clearly. That's always nice. You know who Rihanna is? Sure you do. Jay Hard? Yeah, you know the name. Shay Mitchell? John Hamm? John the Hammer Ham? What do they have in common? All huge Rain sunglass fans. Big time. Why aren't you? That's the question you should be asking. That's why it's not surprising that GQ named them, that's Rain, 2021's best sunglasses for men. So it's pretty much a no-brainer from there, right? They've even got free shipping, free returns, 1-year warranty. So you got nothing to lose. I can't wait to get my new pair in. I ordered a pair, circulars, yellow. I forget the specific name. I have to go look that up. But they are fucking amazing. So please, look no further. You finally found the perfect sunglass brand. Right now, Rain has an exclusive offer just for our starting 9 listeners. So head to RAEN.com, use promo code 9, and that's going to get you 25% off. Again, RAEN.com, promo code 9, 25% off your very first order.
It's time for the Mount Rushmore. This week, it is the Kansas City Royals. And
Royals?
We discussed it a little bit before we started recording. Didn't tip any hands yet, but a little bit to a degree. We know that we're not going to have the same Mount Rushmore here. Same as Dr. Claw.
I felt like there's 3 automatics.
There's 3 automatics?
I felt like there was 3 automatics. 3 automatics.
Okay.
Can we?
George Brett is an automatic.
Thank you.
Okay. I don't know if you're considering Brett Saberhagen an automatic, but I am.
Are you considering Brett Saberhagen an automatic?
Yes.
Okay. And then from there,
So
you're getting ready to kick out. Like,
No.
and
Hold
I know
on. Let me
what?
say this.
What?
Before we started recording,
Uh-huh.
Dallas and Dr. Claw both said that they have not one but two representatives from the 2014-2015 World Series teams. I only have one, and I can justify why I only have one.
Well, I don't know if you can justify it. You will definitely give us a reason.
Yeah. Okay.
Right, so give us your reason. So
Okay.
we
Do
both
you have Brett
George
Saberhagen?
Brett.
Do you
We
have
both have
do you
George
have Brett
Brett.
Saberhagen?
I'm
George Brett's
stopping
an
at
automatic.
yes.
So
I'm
you
stopping
don't
at
have
George
Brett Saberhagen.
I didn't say that I don't have Brett Saberhagen.
Show me your hand. Do you have
I'm
Brett?
not showing. No. You defend what you are.
Okay.
You not defend because that sounds like I'm attacking you. And I
Yeah,
don't
Brett
want to sound that
Saberhagen,
way.
two-time Cy Young Award winner with the Royals. Like that's for me. You go down that
Gold Glover,
list.
2 of the 3 All-Star games that he was in came with the Royals.
110 wins. Led MLB in wins, innings, ERA title the year that I was born, 89. 8 seasons in Kansas City. I got Brett Saberhagen making the Mount Rushmore. But where I go from here, I'm going to give you my 2015, 2014 Royals representative, and that has to be Salvador Perez.
Okay.
Has to be.
No
Motherfucker has the 2015 World Series champions logo tattooed on his bicep.
Love it. Love it. He has been and will continue to be the heartbeat of that organization.
Yes.
There's just no.
He's their Yachty.
Salvador Perez, this might actually be, and it's crazy and weird to think about it because he's still playing for the Royals, and
He
I
is.
believe he's going to end his career as a Kansas City Royal. I would love for that to be the case. I almost feel like him and George Brett would be the two dudes chiseling out the Mount Rushmore of the Kansas City Royals. They almost don't even need to be on the Mount Rushmore. That's just how ingrained they are in the Royals organization.
Mm-hmm.
But Salvador Perez, there's no argument there. So we've got 3 out of your 4, Carabas.
Yeah. So my 4th was not even on the list of candidates that was given to us by Dr. Claw to choose from. I went off the grid for this one. Because when, one of the criteria that it's not necessarily who leads in wins above replacement, who leads in all these statistical categories.
You're pandering. You're pandering is what
I'm not pandering.
You're
I'm not pandering.
absolutely pandering.
I'm not pandering. I'm
yeah,
not
because
pandering.
you know what? I can't wait till we get to the
hold on.
White Sox. Have we already done the White Sox?
One of the criteria is when you think of this franchise, what players come to mind?
You know why you think of the
And
franchise?
you're out of your fucking mind.
You think
if
you think of
tell
him running up
me
the outfield wall. You're
that
such
you
a
think
clown.
Bo Jackson is not a player that people think of when they think of the Royals. Yes, he is. He is.
I love it. I love
Bo
it.
Jackson
See,
is on my Mount Rushmore for Kansas City Royals. He is.
hey, that's fine. I'm not gonna take anything away from you there. All right.
Nor
as
should
a,
I.
as a romantic, I love that Bo Jackson was in your heart of hearts there. I love that he came to mind because honestly, it's moments like that and it's fandom like that makes you a baseball fan, that keeps you being a baseball fan. So I can respect that. I can appreciate that. I'm not here to trample your off-grid selection, Gerrit. I'm here to embrace it.
Thank you.
That's what I feel like a partner should do.
Thank you.
Good choice. I enjoyed that. Probably wrong, but that's a good choice.
I don't think it's wrong.
So, George Brett for me, no-brainer. We talked about that. Salvador Perez as well for me, no-brainer. We talked about that. And I know I'm probably going to catch some heat when I just shoe in Alex Gordon here.
I don't
as
think you're
the
going to catch heat for it.
Well, the only reason I would catch
his entire career, 14 years with the Royals, 3-time All-Star, 8-time Gold Glove, 2-time Platinum Glove, and he was part of the 2015 World Series team. I don't think that anyone, especially now because you have to consider the audience for this podcast. I mean, a lot of people they're going to know Alex Gordon more than they know like Frank White.
Right. And the reason that
Frank White, 18 years, spent his entire career with the Royals.
Yeah, also won a World Series, 8-time Gold Glove winner, ALCS MVP. The reason Alex Gordon is the shoe-in for me is for the same reason people that I think will give me shit about the Joe Mauer bump. Like, Joe Mauer's a hometown guy. Joe Mauer. I get it. Alex Gordon, just for me.
Yeah, you fucked up on Mauer.
That's all right.
That's all right.
I'm not fucking up on Alex Gordon in Kansas City, though.
Okay.
That's what I'm not doing.
Okay.
And
fourth?
Oh, my fourth is Brett Saberhagen.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
My fourth is Brett Saberhagen.
Yeah, it is.
Cy Young winners. 2 or 3 All-Star games we talked about. Like, him and a guy by the name of Mark Gubiza are guys that I think of when I see the Kansas City Royal powder blue uni. I just see the image like in full stretch, fucking hair flowing behind him. So shout out to Gooby. Shout out to Brett Saberhagen. That is my Mount Rushmore for the Kansas City Royals.
I forgot that Salvador Perez was the World Series MVP that year, too.
Oh, yeah. Straight hog, baby.
Yeah.
Hog.
I like my Mount Rushmore better this time around.
The Bo Jackson, such a pandering move, but I
don't think so.
It's accepted.
Not by that criteria. Not by when you see this jersey, when you see this powder blue.
I mean, that's a factor. Like if we were scaling your test grades here, that's like, maybe 20% of the grade. I feel like you're making it 70% of the grade here. And again, I'm not arguing with it. I just if we can acknowledge these things, I think we're better for it.
I don't know where he is right now. I don't know what he's doing right now. But if he could hear us, I considered Eric Hosmer for J.A. I considered it. They don't win that title without Haas.
Absolutely not. Who scores that run? Who scores that run? You tell me this. If he hits a fly ball and it's caught, is he on base?
No.
Okay. Just checking.
Yep. It was they don't win without him.
No, they don't.
Simply don't win without him. All right. That's it for this week. We'll be back on Monday. Right?
Did we final thoughts here? Yeah, we'll be back on Monday. We talked about the All-Star jerseys, didn't we?
No. Did we? No, I don't think we did.
Well, that's my final thought.
Yeah, what's up with that?
How absolutely atrocious. Not only how atrocious these All-Star uniforms are, but the idea that it feels like, again, MLB is just searching for like any sort of tradition. Like, all right, what kind of tradition exists? Oh, they've been wearing their team uniforms the entire time we've been doing the All-Star game. Let's start there. Let's give them X-ray technician smocks and send them down the line, and nobody cares. Like we already do enough by letting their personality show on Players Weekend, where we give them their nicknames on their all white on white on white or all black on black on black jerseys so their personalities can stand out. To hell with that. That's where I draw the line. These All-Star. No. They're all going to look the same. What? Like, just take a trip down memory lane real quickly, folks. Hop in the hot tub time machine and go check out some images from All-Star games of years past. How awesome they are. I think the 1973 All-Star game, 73 maybe? Might have been 75. Either way, go check out both of them. The Oakland A's had 6 All-Stars, and 2 were wearing the wedding gown whites, 2 were wearing the V-neck yellows, 2 were wearing the cutoffs. I mean, just like all the uniforms on display. How fucking sweet is that? And now that's gone for a 2-button-down, fucking just brutal-looking smock. It's gross. That's all I got.
I didn't mind it. I don't care. I was indifferent. I didn't
What do
feel
you mean
strongly
you don't
one way or the
care?
other. I have to here's the thing. I have to see it during the All-Star game, and I've got to taste it a little bit, and then I've got to be like, ooh, I don't like this. I've got to see it.
And there's
I've got to see it.
There's they got floral, they got the floral print under the arm. Like, what the hell is all that for? And again, I said this on Morning Wood. They got the color scheme from the game that was in Atlanta, the blue and the red, white, and blue, and we get that. The purple on the hat for the Rockies, but there was just no need to make it a uniform jersey. Stop. Because Jared, what if your favorite player, as a young little bottle rocket, your favorite player makes the All-Star game, and now you can't buy his jersey, Boston All-Star patch, but you can't do any of that. You go buy this fucking veterinary vest.
I mean,
sweet. That's awesome. BOS. Awesome. That's fucking solid. Give me 2 of those.
I'm going to tell you right now, I don't. I'm looking at them. I don't love them. I don't love them.
What's the flower thing under the sleeve? What's that about?
Yeah, I don't love it. I don't love it.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just an old guy yelling at clouds.
Could be. Speaking of Morning Wood, you mentioned Morning Wood. Did you see how I started the show today?
I have not. I haven't seen anything actually because as I told you, my family left, so I was en route to airports, and as soon as I got back, boom, hop on the computer with you.
It was, how I usually start the show with happy insert name day of a starter that's going that day.
So who'd you insert today?
Who do you think I did?
Well, I don't know. You've got guys.
Mm-hmm. Anyone in particular? You think I went with?
Let me look at the schedule here. Let me not to see who's pitching, just see who's. No, I don't know. It is Sean Manaea Day. I can tell you that. It's Sean Manaea versus Johnny Cueto Day.
Yeah, that's who I went with.
Sean Manaea?
Yeah.
All-star hopeful, my man. Him and Chris Bassett as well.
I'm trying to make the push.
Are you?
Yeah.
Can you make that push? Will you join me in that push, Carabas?
Yeah, of course. I'm an ally.
Hey, who? Okay, well then, who from the Red Sox do we got to get to the All-Star game? Do we have to make a push?
Verdugo.
Do we? What would you? Hey, we're trying.
We're trying. Verdugo and who's
anybody on the
definitely
bump
not
that we
going to make it, but 1,000% should is Josh Taylor.
Yeah. No.
He's riding, I think, 22 consecutive scoreless appearances. He hasn't allowed a run in an appearance since late April.
Yeah, the relievers are always tricky because it's always
if you don't have the name.
Well, not only that, but then who's available, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And if I'm being honest, teams are not necessarily excited about sending guys that they're going to be depending on in those late leverage spots in October to an All-Star game to maybe get up, maybe not throw, blah, 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 blah. I don't know. It's just something to think about.
It's one of those things.
Yep. All right. All-Star jerseys suck. Good talk.
Yep.
Wow.